Imagine standing in your kitchen, pushing against a wall, and feeling it move. Behind it, not a storage room, not a forgotten cellar, but a tunnel. You step inside. The air grows cooler. The light fades. The tunnel splits, and splits again. Soon you realize something impossible. Beneath your small home, lies an entire city. A city carved deep into the earth. Large enough to house 20,000 people. With kitchens, churches, livestock pens, wells, ventilation systems, massive stone doors. And it is not modern. It is ancient. This is the story of Derinkuyu, an underground metropolis in Cappadocia, Turkey. But the real mystery is not how it was built. The real mystery is why. What frightened ancient humans enough to abandon the surface of the earth? In 1963, a resident of Derinkuyu town was renovating his house. He knocked down a wall. Behind it, he found a hidden chamber. Behind that chamber, another passage. Behind that passage, more rooms. Soon archaeologists arrived. What they uncovered stunned the world. An underground city descending nearly 60 meters below ground. 18 levels deep. Extending through a network of tunnels. And it wasn't alone. Cappadocia contains dozens of underground cities, but Derinkuyu is the largest ever discovered. This wasn't a bunker. It wasn't a cave system formed naturally. It was engineered. Carefully. Intentionally. Layer by layer. For centuries. Derinkuyu was carved into volcanic rock known as tuff. Millions of years ago, volcanic eruptions blanketed the region. The ash solidified into a soft but stable stone. Soft enough to carve with iron tools. Strong enough to support multi-level chambers. Ancient builders understood this geology. They designed narrow defensive corridors, large communal rooms, storage vaults, wine and oil presses, underground churches, schools, air shafts extending to the surface. One ventilation shaft runs more than 50 meters deep. Fresh air could circulate even at the lowest levels. Massive circular stone doors, weighing up to 500 kilograms, could be rolled shut from the inside. When closed, they sealed the city like a vault. No battering ram could break them easily. No invading army could storm through quickly. This was not primitive survival. This was advanced defensive architecture. The earliest tunnels may date back to the Hittites, around 1200 BCE. The Hittite Empire controlled much of Anatolia. They faced constant warfare. When their empire collapsed, smaller groups inherited the region. Later, Byzantine Christians expanded the underground cities dramatically. Between the 4th and 10th centuries, Christian communities faced waves of invasion. Arab-Byzantine wars swept across Anatolia. Villages were raided. Cities were burned. In this environment, survival meant adaptation. Instead of constructing larger walls, they disappeared underground. Derinkuyu was not built in a single moment of panic. It evolved over generations. Each invasion likely added another layer. Each crisis carved deeper chambers. Fear became architecture. Imagine living underground. The temperature remains constant year-round, around 13 degrees Celsius. Cool in summer. Warmer than freezing winters. Families occupied small stone rooms. Communal kitchens prepared meals. Grain storage rooms preserved food. Livestock were kept near upper levels for ventilation. Wine presses suggest production, not just survival. Churches carved into stone indicate worship continued. Life did not stop underground. It continued. Children were born here. Elders died here. Communities organized themselves into functional societies. Some historians estimate up to 20,000 people could shelter inside, with animals included. And evidence suggests they could remain underground for months. Water wells where internal ventilation ensured breathable air. Storage rooms were sealed. This was long-term planning, not temporary hiding. Cappadocia sits at a crossroads between East and West. Empires moved through it like tides. Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Arab armies, Seljuks, Mongols. For people living here, war was not rare. It was cyclical. If an army approached, villagers likely received warning. Smoke signals from hills. Messengers on horseback. Once alerted, they gathered food, moved livestock, rolled shut the stone doors, and vanished. Invading soldiers might arrive expecting resistance. Instead, they found empty towns. No people. No supplies. Nothing to conquer. Above ground, silence. Below ground, survival. Here lies the paradox. Derinkuyu represents both extreme fear and extraordinary resilience. What kind of mindset leads an entire society to invest centuries in underground construction? This was not panic. It was strategic anticipation. They expected danger. They assumed instability. Rather than deny it, they prepared for it. Modern societies build storm shelters. Cold War nations built nuclear bunkers. Derinkuyu was the ancient equivalent. It reveals a psychological truth: when threats are persistent, human beings innovate defensively. Fear, when structured, becomes engineering. Some fringe theories suggest ancient global catastrophes, extreme climate events lost advanced civilizations, but there is no credible archaeological evidence supporting these claims. Everything found in Derinkuyu aligns with defensive living. There are no signs of sudden planetary disaster. No advanced unknown technology. No evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. The explanation is simpler. Repeated human conflict. History itself was the threat. Derinkuyu may not have been isolated. Some tunnels reportedly connected to another underground city, Cappadocia, several kilometers away. If true, this suggests coordinated regional defense systems. Imagine entire populations moving beneath the earth, traveling unseen, emerging miles away. An underground civilization hidden in plain sight. This changes how we view ancient communities. They were not passive victims of invasion. They were tacticians. Today, tourists walk through Derinkuyu. The air is still. The corridors are narrow. Light bulbs illuminate what was once darkness. It feels quiet. Almost peaceful. But thousands once hid here in silence, waiting. Waiting for danger to pass. Waiting for the sound of hooves to fade. Waiting for survival. Derinkuyu forces us to confront an uncomfortable idea. Human history is not a story of constant progress. It is a story of adaptation under threat. These people did not build monuments reaching toward the sky. They built refuge beneath the ground. They understood something timeless: safety is not guaranteed. Stability is fragile. Civilization is vulnerable. And yet, they endured. Not by conquering. Not by dominating. But by disappearing. The Derinkuyu paradox teaches us this: the same fear that drives destruction can also drive innovation. The same uncertainty that terrifies societies can push them to engineer survival. Beneath the quiet hills of Cappadocia lies proof. Human beings will go to extraordinary lengths to survive. And sometimes, the safest place to build a civilization is underground.